Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mawan Karifianto. I and my partner Inayati are going to present our current study entitled Students Awareness, Attitude, Affordances, and Challenges in Online Autonomous English Language Learning. This paper is presented for IVICOLL, organized by Politeknik Negeri Malang. Now let's move on to the background of the study. Autonomy in the form of self-regulated learning using various online modes has currently become the norm in the English language teaching and learning during the pandemic era. Reinders and White 2016 suggests that technology for learning requires some degree of learner autonomy. It is in line with the study by Gardner 2007, who states that the perceptions and awareness on the autonomous learning practices are likely to affect learners' motivation, especially for obtaining more exposure for their language learning, and also for keeping them engaged with the learning materials and even after they finish the classroom sessions. In fact, a few study research addresses the issue about learners' awareness and attitude towards autonomous language learning, as well as their affordances and challenges in conducting online learning, especially in Indonesian context, and those are the aims of our current study. The research question, the first is how is the students' awareness about autonomy in English language learning? The second one is what are the students' attitude towards online English autonomous learning? And then the last one, what are the students' affordances and challenges in conducting online English autonomous learning? For the method, the current study is categorized as descriptive study. We used two tools to collect the data, namely survey and interview. In the end, 185 students completed the survey, and then 7 students were selected to join interview for data triangulation. For the data analysis, descriptive statistic was applied for the survey data, while content analysis is applied for the in-view data. Now let's move on to the research finding, which is going to be presented by my partner Inayati.
Hello everyone, Nina here, and I'm going to present about the findings of the study. As the research question suggests, we start with the awareness of autonomous learning, and in this study we found high awareness about the importance of conducting autonomous learning in addition to the formal learning organized by the university. The grand mean that we found was 1.87 from the maximum of 2, showing generally high awareness of autonomous learning from our respondents. And this awareness was represented by these 4 statements in the survey, like I'm aware about the importance of this. I can actively find and integrate independent language learning activity into daily activities. For the attitude, we also found generally positive attitude towards autonomous language learning in our respondents, and the grand mean that we found for this construct was 4.89 from the maximum of 6. So this is closer to 5, and it's closer to the agreement with this attitude statements, which is represented by these 4 items in the survey. Yeah? Like I like to do some forms of online learning, and that I learned a lot when doing it, and I find it easy to do that. For the affordances of autonomous language learning, we divided the items into these 3 aspects, and it is based on the literature by Gensen. Yeah, the first one is for technical aspects. Technical aspects, especially the possession of technology, becomes the main or the highest affordances that the students consider the highest one. Yeah, so just like the possession of laptop and smartphone, for example. And the other technical aspects that become affordances is the access to the internet. So apparently many students consider it as one of the affordances that they have, although many or some also think of it as still troublesome. The other aspects is the learning resources, and this one, yeah, many of the aspects about learning resources become the affordances, such as the ability to access the desired resources, and also the knowing how to access the relevant resources, yeah, and also the assistance in the learning contents, meaning that they know where to ask if they have problems in understanding the online independent study resources. While for learning management aspect, only one aspect from this, yeah, which becomes the affordances, and it's about the time management skills. So many of our respondents think that they know how to manage their time to do online independent language learning among other activities. For the challenges, we found in two main aspects, which is technical aspects and learning management. The technical aspect become the biggest affordances and also the biggest challenges in this case, especially for the aspect of limited financial resources, especially internet data or internet quota, and also lack of technical assistance, meaning they find it hard to find help when they find technical problems. And for learning management, they express lack of planning, not knowing how to evaluate, and also in learning organizational skills, meaning that in strategy, they also find it troublesome, or they find it hard to do that. Um, uh, Exploring further about this issue, we asked them during the interview, and we found that some of the recurring term is, as you see in the quote here that we have, being systematic is good, but I seldom do it because I think the most important thing is learning. It doesn't matter if I evaluate my learning or not. So some students do not even think, or the attitude towards evaluation is not there. Yeah. Because plan makes it feel too rigid. I think independent learning is very much personal, and it is at times done unconsciously or unintentionally. So that's also a recurring theme that we found, which is about the personal nature of autonomous learning, which make interests become the main propeller of what makes the students want to do it more and more. So that's all the findings. Now let's move on to the discussion. We found some factors that lay the groundwork for autonomous learning to happen. Yeah, and those aspects are the internal and also external aspects. The internal aspects that we found here is the high awareness and also positive attitude, which could be a very solid starting point for the students to do autonomous learning. Yeah, for English, for increasing their English skills. And for the external aspects, we found them in the form of affordances and challenges. Okay, and if we use the theory of planned behavior by Adson, it says that one intention to do something was influenced by the three aspects, which is attitude, subjective norm, and also perceived behavioral control. And in this study, it has revealed two aspects, which is the attitude, yeah, the internal aspect, and also perceived behavioral control, which is the external aspects. But the subjective norm is not there yet, so it is still open for further investigation in the future studies. For the implication of the study, um, because high awareness and positive attitude towards autonomous learning was found, and we think that it could be a solid basis for further encouragement and intervention by English language institution or the teachers. And the affordances and challenges identified in the study could be taken into account by designing relevant supports for teachers, such as by designing or identifying and suggesting the internet data-friendly activities, because that's one of the main challenges we found, yeah, which students could do for autonomous language learning activities. And also by inserting the discussion about learning management aspects into classroom teaching and learning, yeah, to train learners autonomy, so like setting the goal, and also how to go about achieving the goals, and also how to evaluate the learning. Further studies could be directed towards understanding the role of subjective norm, yeah, how other people could affect our influence to do autonomous learning, and conducting similar study with wider population. So that's all our presentation. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.